Hi, Andrew here. We're going to continue our series on defensive pistol ammunition. Today we're going to look at Prograde 45 Auto 185 grain TAC-XP. It's a Barnes solid copper hollow point. These bullets tend to perform very well, obviously pretty high weight retention, no jacket separation, that sort of thing. So it ought to do pretty well. We're going to fire it out of a standard length 1911 A1. We're going to shoot it into bare gel, and we're also going to shoot it through 4 layers of denim to simulate heavy clothing. Let's take a look. .7 1008 1000 1004. First, second, third, fourth, and yeah, that was a little closer than I wanted it to be. There's the only one that actually stopped in the block. This one stopped first jug. Oh, I got 2 in here. Good. Penetration on this one is 13.4, and of course the other 2 went substantially deeper. If we take a look from this angle, we can see that this one that hit near the top of the block deviated sharply to the left and up, came out the top here. .6 988.4 1016 1004. So as you can see, these tracks here, moving in the opposite direction, were from the earlier bare gel test. Looks like we got 2 in the block. 1 right between the block and the jug. And it looks as though it came up out of the top. Probably bounced off the jug right there and then landed on the table here. This one still has a neat little plug of denim in it. Okay, so what did we find out? How did it do? To begin with, it performed perfectly well in both bare gel and in denim. That's a tough test. The 4 layers of denim per IWBA standard is actually a more difficult test to pass than the FBI heavy clothing standard, which does involve more layers of clothing but less densely packed fibers. Bullets can often pass the FBI heavy clothing standard while failing the IWBA 4 layers of denim standard. So if it can pass this, it can expand through virtually any clothing, even if Jay Leno attacks you. There was a little bit of variation in the penetration depth in the bare gel test, but otherwise it performed flawlessly. Perfect weight retention, excellent expansion both in bare gel and through heavy clothing, It exceeded that FBI minimum 12-inch penetration standard while falling well short of the 18-inch maximum. Everything it did was just about perfect. Now, if you're not really sure why the FBI established a 12-inch minimum for defensive use of ammunition, it's because human beings in an actual fight tend not to stand perfectly still with their arms at their sides like this, because that would probably be called murder if you shot someone doing that. That is to say, they're not a threat if they're standing perfectly still with their arms at their sides most of the time. Usually, people who are an actual threat are pointing a gun at you, or raising a bat to hit a loved one, or otherwise actively engaged in a threat, which oftentimes puts their limbs between you and the target. That means your bullet may have to traverse a good 8 inches diagonally through somebody's arm before it even hits the torso. Alternatively, you might start a fight by being knocked to the ground already, and you have to fire from a supine position where your bullets strike the torso at an oblique angle and have to pass through a fair amount of guts before they reach the actual vital organs and have a chance of really stopping the fight. In any case, 12 inches of penetration is the bare minimum. We'd like to see about 14 inches for good defensive ammunition, and this ammo is right in that sweet spot. 185 grain may seem a little light to you for a .45 auto. It is. Remember, it's a solid copper bullet without a lead core, so it is longer for the same weight, or vice versa, lighter for the same length. So to meet the same case capacity requirements, it has to be a little bit shorter. Still works perfectly well. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about why that 12-inch standard is so important, or if you have any suggestions on what else you'd like to see us test, make sure you post a comment below. If you have the time, head on over to my channel, The Chopping Block, and take a look at the other tests that are posted over there. But before you go, make sure you click the subscribe box and check the box to be notified every time we post a video. Have a great day.